Hey Achiever, it's Tim Scher and I got a question for you. Are you the visionary creator or are you the processes and systems person? This is important to know, especially if you're trying to achieve a goal.
Here's the question. What's going on inside the minds of top achievers that cause them to make extraordinary breakthroughs both personally and professionally? My name is Tim Scher, and I invite you to join me as we take a deep dive into the unconscious mind and discover how to transform your biggest dreams into a reality. Welcome to the How to Be Mesmerizing podcast.
Hello Achiever, welcome to the program. This is Tim Scher. I'm really happy that you're here today, and I wanted to share something with you. This is really important. It's an issue, a challenge that I've struggled with my entire career, and so I think it's really important, not just if you're trying to grow your business, but really if you're trying to achieve any particular goal. So let's get to it. I find that if we just keep it really simple, there's two kinds of people. And yes, we can have overlap, but there's really two kinds of people. There's the big picture thinker who is great with creating and making things happen and getting things done, but they're pretty bad about the details. They usually jump before they think it out. So they're kind of like the rabbit that just takes off running. And then you have the person who is more of the processes and the systems, and they're more detail oriented. It takes longer for them to make a decision or get things done, but they have fewer mistakes. They do things better the first time, and they're more like the turtle, right? Who is more consistent and plans and eventually, wins the race. So I think that you need both to be able to really, make things happen. A lot of times, especially like in marriage, we will marry our opposite. And so one will be much more, what people say is much more optimistic, and the other is much more pessimistic. But I don't think that's the case. Usually what I find is one is more of a solution finder and the other one is a troubleshooter. Right? So solution finders are people who are like, all right, this is what we're going to do and we're going to make this happen and nothing's going to stop us. And then the troubleshooter is like, yeah, well, this is going to stop us and this is going to stop us. And have you thought about this and what about that? And it's very important to have both styles, because for me personally, I am the visionary. I am very creative. I get things done. I have so many ideas. I can help so many people with so many things. And that's a problem, right? I used to thought it was awesome because I can help everybody, right? But it's become a problem because you can't save everybody. It's like trying to fish the entire ocean. It's too big, right? And over time, you burn out. You run out of bait, right? You don't get enough traction. If you don't have a system, then you end up just going too hard all the time and then feeling like nothing really came of it, or it wasn't sustainable, or you built it up and then it just fell apart. A lot of tech companies will be like this. They have amazing creative minds who are doing these startups, and they do incredibly well and they grow incredibly fast. And then if they don't sell, they usually go under because they don't have any processes or systems in place. They don't have any leadership programs. So everybody's creating and winging it and going 1,000 miles an hour, but there's no cohesiveness. They don't have a foundation. It's like building your house on sand. The Bible warns, don't build your house on sand, because no matter how beautiful the house is, if you don't have a strong foundation, it's going to crumble. And so that's what happens a lot of times. You have to have the processes in place. Now, if all you have are processes and you don't have charismatic people who are making it happen, then you're going to find yourself struggling there as well. I've have been working with a company who has had that happen, where they had powerful, charismatic people, and it was pretty amazing what they accomplished and how much they had grown. But then all of a sudden, because they weren't feeling supported, and because there was too many processes and too many delays and too many people saying, yes, we're going to do this, and then they delayed it, and then they delayed it again, and then they made promises, and then they didn't keep those promises. Those creative people left, right? And this company is experiencing a hard time right now because they have all the processes people, but they don't have the creative people. It's one of the reasons why they brought me in, so I can come in and create that balance again. So we need to have both. And today I'm focusing because I have that visionary mindset. And if you're listening to a mesmerizing podcast, you probably are more of a visionary than a process and system person. But that's an assumption. I could be completely wrong. So now, again, I want to preface that you can be both, right? Like, people say you're so unorganized sometimes, and I'll be like, I'm not unorganized. I just have so many projects going on, and the fact that I can keep them all going is pretty amazing, because through my ability to prioritize constantly, I'm able to get more done in a week than most people get done in like 3 or 4 months. And that takes a high level of organization. However, it's not my strong suit. And I'll be the first to admit that I'm not that great at it. Okay, and so what I'm always looking for is who can build this system for me, right? If I'm just flying down these gravel roads all day long trying to take people with me, I'll be able to do that for a period of time. But eventually I need someone to come and pave the roads. I need someone who can build the infrastructure, so that then it becomes smoother and easier to just take people down the paths. But if I have 100 different paths, because every day I come up with something new or different, then people get lost, right? They're like, I don't know which way to go. I have no way to know where I'm going. I get lost. There's too many turns, too many options, right? It's kind of like having a shopping cart on a website with all of your products and programs on one shopping cart. Most people don't know what to do. There's too many options. And in behavioral research, they have found that if someone has more than 3 options, they usually don't choose any because they don't know what to do. And so many times people are afraid of making the wrong choice, so they don't choose at all, right? And so instead you build a funnel. And a funnel is basically where you have one choice, one option, and you can take this option. And if you decide you don't want this option, then you click off of that and it takes you to a different choice. So you always have one choice in front of you. Go left or go right? Yes or no. I want this now. No, I don't, right? I want to upgrade. I don't want to upgrade. I want to stay with what I have, or maybe do a downsell, if I think that I'm leaving. There's lots of different ways to take people through a process. But you got to do it one step at a time, one decision at a time. And I have notoriously, had like 50 different decisions. And then people are like, I don't know what to do. And then I wouldn't know what to do. So I would think there's something wrong. So I would create another 50 decisions. And it was just too much. And I think that mesmerizing, creative, visionary types, us entrepreneurs, think like that because we love creating. We love building. We love the chase. We love the hunt. We love creating new energy and creating new options and helping more people in new and exciting ways. We love that part of it. For us, that is the process, and we thrive on that. And again, that's great if you have somebody backing you up with systems. If you have somebody that's putting together a solid plan. So if you have a personal goal, right, you're trying to accomplish a personal goal, then we got to make sure that you have a plan in place that is going to help you so that you have step 1, step 2, step 3. So I don't know if you know this or not. If you've been following me for a while, you know that I focus a lot on improving health as well as improving your leadership skills or improving your ability to sell or improving your relationships. I focus a lot on improving your health, because if you don't feel good, then everything else just doesn't go as well as it could, right? So if you don't feel good, if you feel toxic in your body, then it's going to show up in your mind. It's going to show up in your decisions. It's going to show up in your choices. It's going to show up in your work. It's going to show up in your outcomes, and it's going to show up in your relationships. And so we got to make sure that we are focused on creating a healthy body, which gives you a healthy mindset, which then makes it easier to make all these other dreams come true. So I have a body and mind transformation program that I offer people, which is fantastic, because instead of relying on dieting, and willpower, which does not work, I literally get in there and retrain your mind to follow through in ways that make you feel healthy and happy and confident and successful, and it's pretty extraordinary. So I've been on Facebook doing Facebook Lives and then putting those videos on YouTube as well. For the last 2 days now, I decided to do a 14-day series where I would go for a walk every night at 7 p.m. and take you with me, and we would go for a walk and I would teach you one aspect of the body and mind transformation approach, right? Because I've spent 24 years studying how to live healthier, and specifically on the mindset part of it, right? What happens inside of your mind that causes you to either fall apart or to totally follow through and succeed. And so I focus on the head part of getting healthy or losing weight or increasing your energy and your vitality and your wellness. And it's pretty sensational stuff. The tools that I've learned over the years, you're not going to find in most books. It took me years and years and doing well over 10,000 sessions, private one-on-one sessions with people, listening to what they were saying as they would sit there and tell me all their secrets about what they were really doing, what was really going on in their head. And I started recognizing patterns. And these patterns are what helped me to finally put together these tools and tips and tricks and the processes that lead to greater health and well-being. And so every night I decided I'm going to go for a walk and I'm going to share a piece of it. Now, the first thing that I did was I built a process, because I have too much information in my head from 20 plus years of doing this and thousands of sessions. There's way too much knowledge I have in my head. And if I would have just get on camera, which I usually do, and just freestyle it, people will usually say, Tim, I love your stuff, but sometimes you go in too many directions. And I'm like, yep, that sounds right. Sounds like I'm a rabbit just jumping around. So, but that's how I do it. I don't know how to do it any other way. And so I apologize for that, and I hope that you stick around with me, because in all the words that I put out there are golden nuggets. And like anything else, sometimes you got to sift through some mud before you find that golden nugget. So it's always worth it. It's always worth it. In fact, every time I read a book, you got to read through a lot of stuff before you find a couple of golden nuggets. But just one new insight can be worth everything. It can totally change your life. And so I decided I gotta write a process, right? And that's what I did. I sat down and I mapped out, all right, what are 14 topics that I could talk about? And then I prioritized them, what's most important. And then, all right, what am I gonna talk about each single time? And I started to map that out. So now I have a system to back it up. And so last night I was on number 2, which was 8 mindset sabotages that wreck our health. And so I'm getting lots of good feedback from that, and it's exciting. So you can check that out. I'll be going for a walk tonight, or maybe if it rains, I'll be inside. I'm doing part 3 of that, which is going to be on strategy sabotages that mess up our goals, right? So I haven't got the title quite tweaked yet. I'm going into the office to do that right now. So anyway, so I wanted to make sure that I had a process in place. So some of that I focus on having processes. For the rest of it, I find people who are good at that, instead of me relying on myself to do something that I know is not my strength, right? There's a program, a company out there called Strength Finders, and their whole focus is on lean to your strengths. Don't try to do everything. Don't try to be everything for everyone. What are you really best at? That's what you focus on. Focus on your strengths. And then the things that you might call weaknesses, I call them opportunities, right? Your weaknesses or opportunities, find somebody else who loves to do that, right? So I have a guy who loves systems. He loves putting things together. He says, you got all these loose ends. All we need to do is just put them together and kind of organize them. And I said, yes, that's exactly right. It's exactly what we want to do. And he likes to do that. He geeks out on that. And so it's like, cool, you take care of that, I'll take care of this, and it's going to be magical. It's going to be awesome. And so he's doing his thing, I'm doing my thing, and you know who wins? Everybody. Everybody wins. My clients win, you win, I win, my systems people win. I mean, everybody's having a good time, and that's what it's all about. And so that's what I wanted to share with you today. I wanted to just invite you to take a look at what you are best at. And are you more of the visionary creative type, or are you more of the solutions and systems? And then find somebody to help partner with you. Okay, so if you need someone who's good at systems, then reach out and just ask people, say, hey, this is my goal. I'm looking for someone to help me build a path, a system, a foundation, an infrastructure so that I can keep moving in this direction successfully. If you are someone who is great with processes and putting things together, reach out to me. I'm always looking for people like that. If you're brilliant at that, please reach out to me. That would be amazing, okay? So, and in the meantime, I have people that are working on that for me. And so, you know, if you need someone who is, you're great at processes, but you need someone who's creative, someone who makes things happen, then find someone and partner with. And as you do this, you're going to find yourself feeling stronger, more confident, more in control in each and every way. So I apologize for all the noises. I walked into the building and it's kind of noisy in here today. So, but anyway, that's what I've got for you. So I want you to just keep that in mind. That's your action step for today. Focus on what you're best at, lean to your strengths, find someone to partner with you, and then put it into action and make today a sure success. And I'll talk to you soon. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Hey, would you like more free tips on how to be a mesmerizing leader? Then check out mesmerizingleadership.com and also hang out with me on Facebook, facebook.com/Tim Scher. Thanks so much, and make your day a sure success.